Alright, hey everyone, welcome to another Steam Deck video. Today we're taking a look at Deadlock, Valve's new hero shooter game. Now this has been in somewhat of an open beta for the past month now, but we weren't allowed to talk about it, show any footage. Today we're testing it on the Steam Deck. Supposedly a game made by Valve should work on their device, but as you'll soon find out, it doesn't actually work too good. Now, is this because it's still in a very early development stage, or because it's really not the game for the device? I guess we'll find out. Now, if you actually want to play it on the Steam Deck, you have to do some prep work before you launch it. You have to enter some commands in the launch properties, otherwise it wouldn't work. If you don't do that, you'll see that it says matchmaking unavailable for Steam Deck. I'm not sure why they're limiting this for you to not be able to play it on the Steam Deck. I think they're trying to discourage people to play it on the Steam Deck because it doesn't work very well right now. It's still in development, so maybe when it launches, it will work a little bit better, but today we're going to test it either way. Now, before you actually launch the game on the Steam Deck, you're going to want to come here to the properties and type a specific launch option. In the launch option, Steam Deck equals 0. And then I think there's a space here that I missed. There's a space here. Command, yeah. So it's Steam Deck equals 0 space % command %. And then let's see if that will allow us to launch it. I am going to be using keyboard and mouse. There is full controller support for the game. And it is actually optimized for the Steam Deck controls, which is weird enough. But the way we're playing it is we're not going to have any controller inputs on the screen with the Steam Deck. So that's why I'm going to be using keyboard and mouse. But rest assured, you can play this with a controller. Now, the other reason I'm playing with a keyboard and mouse is because this game is really shooter heavy, if I may say so. What I mean by that is there's a lot of characters that use projectile type abilities, and you really have to aim. You really have to have good aim in the game in order to play it. So right now we're gonna use advanced settings. We're gonna use FSR2, and I'll set it to Ultra. And we're going to go through all of the different options for FSR. Then we're going to try FSR1 and reduce the render quality and stuff like that. So we'll see how far we can push it and if we can keep a stable 60 FPS. Because in these type of competitive games, you really want to have the best FPS possible. So this is a hero shooter / MOBA. It has elements from both League of Legends, Dota, and from Overwatch. It's a 6v6 game with different heroes where you can choose from. Each have 4 abilities, but at the same time there are 4 lanes that you have to push together with your teammates, and there are non-controllable mobs that push the lanes with you. So that part is taken from League of Legends or Dota MOBA style games. Okay, so lowest settings, FSR2 set to ultra performance. It's very blurry, but we are getting above 60. Not sure why it's not being limited here. Let me see if I can actually limit that. No, it's not being limited. But it will be around 60. It's not gonna stay locked to 60. So it does run on the Steam Deck. It will run even with FSR set to quality or balance. But the question here with this type of games is not is it gonna run, but should you actually play it on the Steam Deck? Because in this type of games you really want to have the maximum FPS possible. It's a competitive shooter, so you really want to have the edge over your opponent. And it's just not the type of game that you can competitively play on the Steam Deck. If you were to play for like one match or something like that, sure. You just wanna get in and test out the characters and stuff like that. Sure, that can be done on the Steam Deck, but it's not really a game that I recommend playing on the Steam Deck. But this game is quite complex. You have different characters. They have different abilities. You have 4 different abilities, and on top of that, you can buy up 4 different items. So at some point it does get pretty complex in terms of controls. But the game does have full controller support, so it can be played without issue on the Steam Deck. Currently we're getting around 50 FPS. Again, this is on the lowest settings. FSR2 set to ultra performance. That's why it's so blurry. I'm gonna change it up to balanced in a bit. Or maybe change it to performance first. Now this is a real match against other people. So at some point the gameplay is gonna get very chaotic with a lot of people on the screen, a lot of things on the screen. So we'll see how the Steam Deck handles that. See what that looks like. Okay, it looks a little bit better. FPS has gone down to about 40. Now this is quite a heavy game. On my PC, it does run okay. I do have a 165 Hz monitor, and it's able to run at this refresh rate, but at low to medium settings. So the game is very not optimized at this point. And it will be more optimized as it launches officially. But still, I don't think this is a game that you would want to play on your Steam Deck. As I said previously, it's very shooting focused, it's very aiming focused, and that is a bit hard to do on the controller. Even if you're used to it, if you're playing with people who are playing on a keyboard and mouse, you're gonna be at a disadvantage. Okay, so we're on balance now. In the low 50s. 40, high 40s, low 50s, I think. Stay back now because they might want to gank me here on this lane. Now let's switch it to quality mode and see what that looks like. Everything else is still on lowest settings or off. We're gonna get Fortitude here to increase our life a little bit. Now I've played this game on my PC for about 6-7 hours now. So I'm pretty familiar with how things look. But it is very difficult to play it on the Steam Deck, not because of the lag, but because of the aiming. I tried to play it a little bit with controller, as you see, but it's really not designed to be played with a controller. Maybe certain characters can be played with a controller, or at least they will be easier to play with a controller. You knew what was going to happen the moment you picked a fight with a lash. All right, so let's switch to Vulkan now, and I'm also gonna apply. I'm gonna use basic settings and just keep this at fastest, and then custom resolution. Can we drop this to? Let's drop this to 720p, and that will turn on Steam Deck FSR. We're gonna exit to reset the Vulkan, and then we're gonna try again. So let's go to settings again, video, and now we're using basic settings. We're using stretch. Render quality doesn't seem like we can do anything about it, but let's bring it down to 77. No, it doesn't change anything. Okay. Oh shit. Oh wow. What the hell? Now I'm going all over the place. Oh my god. That was heavy, some heavy lag. Some rubber banding effect even. What? A trooper killed me. Okay. So yeah, I don't think there's a point in trying out more than the lowest settings and setting FSR to anything else than performance or balance. It just does not seem like the game is very optimized at the moment, and that's expected since this is an early development build. And it's not really meant to be played on the Steam Deck. Even though it's a Valve game, not all of their games are meant to be played on the Steam Deck. In fact, most of their games are shooters, and they're not meant to be played with a controller. After all, they're a PC gaming company. So to answer the question, yeah, it does run somewhat. Oh my god, look at this lag. Look at... okay. Now it's gonna disconnect me, I think. Yeah. So yeah, I hope this answers your questions if it does run on the Steam Deck. That's gonna be it for the video, guys. This has been Deadlock, Valve's new game, tested on the Steam Deck, and it does not run great. But thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.